Look how much these little guys have changed and developed. I mean, look at this. She can stand on her own. She's reaching for that little nipple, fighting for it, guzzling the milk down as we feed it to her. They're really growing strong and big, and oh, it's so fun to watch. And they're really at a cute stage now. They don't look so awkward and naked. Oh, they're so cute. It's fun watching them grow and develop and change and start to show their personalities little by little. I'll be really excited as they develop over the next few weeks to see what their personalities are like. And to really get to know each and every one of them, how they, which ones are more nervous, which ones are more confident, which ones are more relaxed, which ones are more kind of go-getters. You're done, huh? You're done? Let's see if someone else wants a little more. You want a little bit more? Yeah, you want some more. There we go. There we go. There we go, all gone. Oh, is that you got a good full tummy? You got a nice full tummy now? You guys got any room for meat? Let's get you a little bits of meat. Yeah, let's get you some little bits of meat. Oh, someone's sniffing. Look at her. Look at her looking for it. She's like, I smell meat. Where's the meat? Hey, look, it's over here, little miss. Look. That's what you're looking for, huh? Yeah, I can see you smelling it, looking for it, huh? Seeing such young and helpless babies eating raw meat must be quite shocking to those unfamiliar with the weasel family. Members of the weasel family develop quite differently than most other mammals. For example, their jaws and neck muscles develop long before their leg muscles do. So they actually have powerful jaws equipped with teeth ready to chew and eat whole meat at a much younger age than would be normal for most other carnivores. I presume this difference in development is due to the high metabolism which is typical of the weasel family. Due to their high energy requirements, it must be quite taxing on the mother mink to try and feed all of her offspring on just milk. And so to help boost her along, the babies begin to eat meat on their own at a much earlier age than other carnivores might.
So when do they, when does the mom start bringing meat? Or does she?
She's always. So the mom always brings meat to the nest and eats it. That's just part of it.
Oh, and so eventually the babies will just start joining her kind of thing?
Exactly. So about this age they start joining her and eating little bits. And she'll open it up and eat part of it, and then it's open, so they just go in and start sucking on the meat and chewing off little bits.
Yeah. But the mom doesn't chew and regurgitate or anything.
No, not like a canine. They just bring back opened up kills and let the babies go to town. So one thing I like to do, and especially when they're this little, is I make sure I give them milk first rather than meat first. Because if you give it to them when they're hungry, they'll there's a risk of them overeating or eating a little too excitedly. So I prefer when they're little like this to make sure you always feed the milk first and then the meat second. When they're little like this, there's a risk that they'll eat too much meat and make themselves sick. That happens sometimes. So you want to make sure they don't eat too much, and an easy way to do that is to feed them with milk first. That way they're not too hungry when you give them the meat. And today was just right. They each had a little, most of them had a little bit of a sample, But they didn't get too overzealous and gorge themselves, so I think we did just right. We want to make sure they're getting a little meat because they need it. This is natural. This is the time when they start eating meat. But we don't want them to overdo it. Oh, is that too big of a piece? Oh yeah, that's kind of a big piece. Let's get you something a little more ground up. Here, how about this? That a little easier for you? Ooh, almost caught that one. So you would think, logically, if you didn't know any better, you'd think all of these minnows, there's so many, should make it easy for her to catch one, right? Because there's so many of them. When in actuality, think about it, in nature, what do minnows do? Do they swim around all by themselves? Or do they typically swim around in big groups, little schools like this? Well, obviously, anyone who knows fish knows that they swim around in big groups like this commonly. And so, oh, she had one there. Oh, she got another one. Did she get it? Or did she lose it? Oh, that was pretty cool. It like jumped over her back. So anyway, swimming in big schools like this is helpful for the fish. It creates confusion. It's hard for the mink or otter or whatever's chasing the fish, big bass. It makes it difficult for them to focus on just one fish and capture it. And so having big schools of minnows is great, because the purpose of this isn't for her to easily jump in and catch a fish and be done. The purpose is enrichment more than anything. Obviously it's a good healthy snack, but the number one reason for having all these little fish is enrichment. If the purpose was food alone, I'd be, sticking big fish in here and she'd dive in, catch one, and eat it, be done. But the purpose is to give her exercise and enrichment, because she's has babies. She's not able to go hunting or fishing like my other mink do. And so, to provide kind of a little practice, little fake hunt, we have these minnows set up so that she can get enrichment every day. And it's just like we're taking her fishing without actually going out hunting or fishing. And provides great exercise, and she absolutely loves it. And of course she gets a healthy snack whenever she catches a minnow. It's a good little addition to her diet to have a few minnows here and there. And she absolutely loves it. Now, the breeding females aren't the only ones who get to enjoy the experience of swimming in this pool and playing in this big area. This is actually a home for one of the males. Now, not just one of the males, I actually rotate the males through, so the males get to live here as well, or excuse me, get to swim here as well, but they actually live here. So while she's and the other breeding females are having their fun, the mink who's living here has to be locked up. And he's rotated so that each of the males, oh there she goes, she caught another one. Each of the males get an opportunity to live here for a couple days at a time, and then we rotate them out to the next male. Yummy little minnow. Lots of fun and a delicious snack. And another reason for having the small ones is in this tight area, it's actually much more difficult to catch the small fish than the large fish. If this was a bigger area, it'd be the opposite. If this was in a big old pond or a lake, it's easier to catch small fish than it is to catch big ones. But in a tight little kiddie pool like this, it's more difficult to catch the little fish because they can maneuver better in these tight spaces. So having small fish does multiple things. It makes it more difficult to catch, which is the goal. The goal is for it to be difficult to catch them. We don't want her to just swim in, grab them, and be done. We want them to be difficult. The other thing is having small fish, she can catch one right after another, have a little snack, catch another one, have a little snack, catch another one. She doesn't just get full the very first fish. So it encourages her to keep swimming, keep swimming, keep swimming, keep chasing them, and getting more exercise and joy, pure joy from the experience. Helps to stimulate her, both physically and mentally. You hear that little sound she was making? That little gu-gu-gu-gu-gu-gu-gu-gu-gu-gu sound. That's an excitement sound that mink make. They can make it for a number of reasons. They'll make that excitement sound when they are having fun, obviously, like she's doing right now. She's having a blast. So she's making that little excitement sound. But they also make that excitement sound for other reasons. For example, when mink are about to breed or are near a potential mate. Oh, hey, look at that. She chased that fish right out of the water. I've seen mink actually do this in the wild, where the fish tries to get away from the mink and it beaches itself. We're just going to put it back so she can chase it down and catch it. That's kind of funny. I've seen fish do that in the wild. Mink chases them and they beach themselves trying to get away on accident, obviously, not purposefully. So that sound that she was making, it's a common sound that they'll make anytime they're excited. So they'll make it during mating, or before mating, I should say, not during. So when they see a mating partner through the wire, they'll make that sound. They'll also make that sound, interesting enough. There we go, she got one. Good job, little mink. They'll also make that sound when they are gonna fight, interestingly enough. So it's not always a positive sound. They'll make it before fighting with another mink, or wanting to fight with another mink. But it just basically means pure excitement. Whether it's positive excitement like play, or not so positive like they want to fight. I guess in the sense of a mink, that is positive because they like fighting, so it means they're about to have some fun.